I'm Dot Miller Beckwith, and I grew up in Sans Souci, and I went to school with Robert Turner, and we graduated from Parker in 1942, and he was here at the Peddler as lifeguard 41 and 42.
Dreamland.
What did I say?
It's Peddler.
Oh, well, yes, Dreamland. It wasn't the Peddler then, it was the Floyd home, that's right. I think I knew Dreamland before you did, because I lived in Sans Souci, just right over there.
No. No.
No what? You knew it before then?
Tell you the way I was introduced to Dreamland. We lived not too far up Poinsett Highway, had a peach orchard. And of course, I don't remember it, but my mother said my dad brought me down to Dreamland. They came down one night, late one afternoon, and I was just a kid, just not walking, and he threw me in a deep park.
Oh, then you were here before me.
That's how I learned to swim.
Just threw you in.
And I guess I loved it ever since. And then, of course, later on, I lived in Sans Souci. And at the time, they had streetcars in Greenville. The streetcar came out to the corner of North Franklin and Blue Ridge Drive and stopped, and it'd go back to the city. But a lot of people would ride that streetcar, get off, and then walk Blue Ridge Drive down here to go swimming. As a kid, gosh, I came to Dreamland just as often as I possibly could. I lifeguarded here part of 41 and the summer of 42, but I remember so many fellows that were lifeguards here when I was growing up. Jim Salmon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Creeper Raines. It was Pete Floyd, the older brother of Joe Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
He lifeguarded here. Pete later on became a pilot and stayed in the military and retired as a lieutenant colonel. Joe lifeguarded here. And after the war, Joe tried to reinvigorate this place and get it to going again, but it just, by that time, people were building their own pools at home. And a lot of people were going to State Park. But gosh, there'd be crowds of people out here. They had the air base at the time, Donaldson Air Force Base. And those were people who would come in here, especially on weekends, by the droves.
But the minute the stores, we got off from work, we'd come out to Dreamland Lake because, that's just where everybody met. But we all came out here, and of course we came to the skating rink, and we had some dances out here.
Yeah,
and that's when we were jitterbugging.
Could you tell us about the dances and what were they like?
This one was a real good dancer.
The one thing, during the daytime, around about early evening, the crowd would dwindle off, and you wouldn't have too many in there. They'd be going home to eat. At night, sometimes you'd have a crowd, but invariably it'd be just a few out there. We always found out we had a jukebox, and I learned how to trip that thing where you didn't have to put money in it. And Doc and a crowd of us would meet out here. Go back to Doc said a while ago. She's talking about a black widow spider in the ladies' dressing room. That building, the bathhouse, was 2 stories. And up above it, you had some cots up there. And I never could get Doc to go up there with me.
I was scared. I never did go up there. Didn't dare.
But the building was built out of boards. Those boards had knot holes on them. Well, invariably, the lady that had the bathhouse would send somebody out to tell me that boys were peeping through the knot hole.
Probably.
And you go around the behind the building, there you'd find some little boys standing up there looking through the knot hole at the girls.
Some things never change. When it was the height of.
Oh God!
How many people do you think would be out here?
You'd have a couple of hundred. I mean, it'd be crowded.
Yeah.
You'd have a lot of people. Well, a typical day would be Monday through Friday.
Now this is summertime, of course,
People
and school was out.
Would drive in or walk down or ride bicycles. There's a lot of people riding bicycles. And you never had to worry about lunch because people would be, or dinner, because people would come out to picnic and they'd always, you know, invite you. And we watched out for those people that, you know, we knew were picnicking and would make good friends with. But a typical day, you open at 10 o'clock. Well, then about noontime, here'd come some in. They're going to picnic. And they'd park and they'd get the stuff out. And they'd eat. And then and a lot of adults, ladies, would have their children with them. And they'd bring the children up, you know, to get their baskets and go swimming. And then about mid-afternoon, it really pick up. You get a lot of people coming in, riding bicycles and walking, driving cars. And that would go on till about 6, 7 o'clock, and it dwindled down. And then along about 7 o'clock, it'd start picking up again, especially with airbase people out here. You can imagine somebody that's been marching all day or doing something out at the airbase on a hot day, let's go swimming, and here they'd come.
But I just wondered if you could, like, maybe in your mind think of, go back when you were in high school. What did it mean to you then? And looking back, what does it mean to you now? What does this place mean to you now? What kind of
Dreamland or Greenville or what?
Dreamland. What did it mean to you when you were out here?
Well,
and you can tell the truth.
Tell you what it meant.
It meant to him making a bunch of money, because that was a lot of money in those days.
Yeah.
Nobody made 28 cents
back then.
An hour.
I did in the summertime. I just grew up at this place. So, gosh, I was here every day as a kid. Just boom, I was gone. Come in and stay all day long, no food.
Well,
but as far as Dreamland right now, you know, to drive down and see Lowe's, what they've done over here, it's kind of a sickening feeling. You remember how it was at one time. And I have a lot of friends that I'll run across, and they'll tell me the same thing. And they say, I'll never shop at Lowe's.
I mean, when we first started doing this project, we'd come and every time we come, there'd be a car parked up there.
Somebody
maybe an older
reminiscing.
Couple.
Yeah.
And they'd just be, you know, almost see people in tears. And that's when I first really became interested, just the emotional connection this place has. Why do you think it strikes such an emotional resonance with people of that time?
I think that our generation is very sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of memories that the war made us so much closer, and we just were a close group then anyway. Went through the Depression together, and we had the streetcar, but many of us would walk to school to save that quarter so we could go to the movies or come out here or hitchhike. Now, the girls didn't do much hitchhiking. You know, I don't think.
I have ridden car boxes.
Have you really?
Up on the side of a train.
Yeah, we call those hobos. Yeah. But we were just real close, and we just all shared the same experiences, and we all were on the same level, you know, as far as finances were concerned. We all saved that little quarter or whatever it was that we got a week, you know, to ride on the streetcar. But I don't know. I just think that the war had something to do
You think it
with
intensified the
sharing
emotions?
everything. And we, yeah, and like I say, you know, we just kept in touch. Special memories.
What a place.
Yep.
Well, it's for you to take interest in this. That means a lot. It means a lot to a lot of people.
Well, it's a fascinating story.
Especially
I've been,
those people that have gone by the wayside. Coming back and seeing how this land has been devastated, I tell you, it breaks your heart. Your heart. Your heart. Your heart. Your heart.